Hello and welcome to week 11. And I apologize, this is a little bit later than I thought to do this for you. But things just life happens. All right, let's share the screen here so we can get things going here. All right. Okay. So just a couple things this week. We need to do, you're starting on your final project because we're in the last final weeks. So let's make sure that we get on the right track for that. Okay, so you just have one discussion this week. Um, on just gonna go there. Okay. So helping a guru influence friend. This is just helping someone. Teammate named Jesse shares that they discovered an online nutrition guru that gives the athletes really specific diet advice to improve performance. They share that most recently they just started a plan to cut out all the carbs and eat only kale and spirulina shakes for peak energy. When you ask how they're feeling, they say they mostly feel great, although sometimes they feel lightheaded. Given what you've learned so far and the differences between a registered dietitian or a board certified specialist in sports dietetics or CSSD and a non-certified nutritionist, what exactly would you say to your teammate to address this situation? What would you say about the risk of following unregulated nutrition advice, particularly for an athlete? And how would you persuasively explain the benefits of seeking guidance from RD or CSSD? So in your post, you need 1 to 2 paragraphs about that, explaining those questions thoroughly, and then replying to two classmates. That's all you have to do for that. All right, let's go back here, and then that is the only one for that. Let's see again. Here we go. And then you have the discussion, and then here is the thing that I really did want to talk about is this beginning of your final project. Okay, so this is the first one. There's 4 steps to it. So picture that you're a sports nutrition consultant hired by a K through 12 school district. So this is for a school to work with one of their high school sports teams to develop a new evidence-based nutrition plan for the team that addresses their specific needs and challenges. One challenge you have already been told is that the athletes on this team have struggled with building their stamina. So, in your role over the next 3 weeks, you're going to research and draft a detailed nutrition plan, present and justify your plan to the team's head coach. This is going to be Coach Maxwell. This is going to be on Chat GPT. And then you're going to adjust and revise your draft and into a polished final draft. And then you're going to video record yourself presenting your nutrition plan to proposal to Coach Maxwell and the school board. Mostly the school board. This is what it's going to be aimed by. So for this week, you're going to there's a couple steps here. First, you're going to choose your sports team and the school district. So it can be any high school sports team, any kind, women's soccer, cross country, men's hockey, whatever you want, golf, whatever you want it to be, and a school district and location. So it can be here in Michigan, it can be in Florida, it can be in California, it can be in Alaska, wherever you want to do it. So just so you know, those are important because if you're gonna do it in a warmer climate, you're gonna have to make sure that you're gonna, look at the hydration for that, okay, and include that in your plan as well. So anyway. Then step two is the research. Gather information on the following items, like the sport you've chosen, the climate of the location you've chosen, how the climate impacts the sport, just like I said, the sport's physical, nutritional, and hydration needs, and common nutritional challenges among high school athletes. So this is all research. You're going to research this through your readings. You're going to do some research on the computer. Just make sure you are keeping track of everything that you research because I believe at the end you're going to need at least 4 or 5, maybe it might be more. I can't remember. Anyway, so then you're going to draft your plan. So drawing on your research, create an initial rough draft of your nutrition plan with the following elements. So what I would do is this is 1 through 9. I would just go into your Word document and put all these headings in there and then just add underneath the headings as you go. That's just my way I would do it, but you could do it any way you want. But you have to have these 9 headings, okay? If you have one of them missing, you know, it could be a lot of points off, just so you know. All right, so number one, introduction. And identify and give context of your team, sports location, and climate. Just like what was in step two, what it is. Okay, that's really what's the name of your sport, where's it going to be, whatever. Then two, the stamina problem. So present 2 to 3 possible explanations for why the team might be struggling with stamina, considering both the environmental factors like the heat and humidity during outdoor activity practices, nutrition and hydration factors, and any other factors you might think is relevant. So that's going to be the big thing. Like, do they need Gatorade? Do they need water? What do they need to keep their stamina? Do they need to eat more? Those are the kind of things that we're looking for, that I'm looking for that. The science. Okay, describe how dehydration and improper fueling affects athletes' physical performance with specific reference to your chosen climate and sport. Kind of the same thing as two, but a little bit more different. This is really looking not so much as the heat and humidity, but it's looking at the dehydration and hydration things that you need for your plan. The nutrition plan overview. Introduce your research-based plan and state expected benefits for athletes on your chosen team. Now, if you remember right, you did a 1 day meal plan. You could probably use that here, maybe with a little bit of changes, but that's what you're looking for as an overview, and explain what it meant. Like, I know lots of you put like 50% protein, not 50%, 50% carbs, 25% protein, 20% fats, or whatever. Explain why you have it that way. And then pre-practice, pre-game nutrition, present and explain your specific recommendations for athletes should consume in the hours leading up to and immediately before intense activity. Be specific about types of foods and drinks. Lots of you use oatmeal or bananas and peanut butter. State those and why those are good pre things, or a smoothie, or some kind of protein shake. Whatever you choose, make sure that you're being specific about it, and in the amounts as well, because you don't want to load up on pre-game things. Number six, during practice game hydration and fueling, explain the best hydration and fueling strategies for your athletes during this activity. Include what fluids to drink, electrolyte balancing, and the frequency they should be drinking. So should they be drinking every 10 minutes, or should they be drinking every hour? How much and what should they be drinking? Number seven, post-practice, post-game recovery. Recommend a nutrition recovery plan that lists what to consume, when to consume it, and why for best results after their activity. Again, be specific about macronutrients and timing. So, of course, remember, macronutrients are carbs, fats, and proteins. Exactly what they need for the post-practice and the recover, and when should they eat that. General daily nutrition guidelines provide general recommendations for a balanced daily diet for these athletes, considering their high energy usage and need for consistent water and intake. So just give me the guidelines of what they should do. Again, you could put in something that you use in another assignment. That's totally up to you. And then number nine, additional recommendations. Add one or more evidence-based suggestions of your choice. So these are the things that you can pick one of these you don't have to do all three, just one of them, areas to consider for additional recommendations. So are you going to add performance improvement tracking as your track what their performance are? They running faster without getting tired? Or monitoring hydration? Are you going to talk about how they're going to monitor their hydration? What you're going to do for that? Are they going to have an app? How are they going to do that? And supplemental guidance, or is there just something else, some kind of other guide that you want them to have in this plan? Note, it's fine if your rough draft this week is not yet complete and clear. That's fine. It's a rough draft. And it could be ideas, all right? The whole point of the rough draft this week is to figure out your main points you want to make and the key information you need to include, and thus to identify places where you still need to clarify something, to do more research, show how things are connected, etc. So I'm going to be going through there, giving you some suggestions, what you should do, and where there's gaps, what things that I think are great. I'll really be looking at this. I'll be going through those 9 things that you're supposed to have in there, making sure you have those and they're well explained. So how you submit this one, you're going to do this with a title page. And a Word when your rough draft should have your nutrition plan in there and a reference page listing it to at least two sources this week. Okay. And this should be an APA style. All right. Any questions on that, please email me. Let me know. Again, if you're using AI on this for some of your research, make sure that you're indicating that. I will take a hefty amount off on your final draft, not so much this one, but on your final one, um, if you use AI and you don't tell me. All right. So very important to use AI. If you're going to use AI, that you're going to tell me. And it's totally fine to use it, no problem. Just so you know, we're getting towards the end, and it really needs to be if you're going to use it, which is again is fine. You need to tell me. All right. Again, let me know if you have any questions. Email me or anything else. And again, don't forget to do your attendance question. And I hope you all have a great rest of the week. All right. Talk to you soon. Thank you.